Hi guys, this is Jiggy, a portrait and wedding photographer from the Philippines, and welcome to the channel. So in today's video, I want to talk about how a single light changed the way I shoot. So basically, I was archiving some files and I stumbled upon a video that I shot way back in 2016. And when I was watching it, I realized that a lot of the things that I actually talked about that video is still very much applicable to the way I shoot today. Just to give you a caveat, this was actually an interview that they did for the Phottix Indra because they gave me actually the beta software for that particular light, and this is again way back in 2016. And the Phottix Indra at that time was actually the only 500-watt strobe that was capable of TTL and high-speed sync that would work with my Sony. And it was still under beta testing, so they gave me an advanced software of that one. And this was the interview for me to be able to share my thoughts about the product. But what was supposed to be a technical interview turned out to be something a bit more. That's why I want to share it with you guys again today. So basically, we ended up discussing how I shoot, why I need TTL, why I need to shoot with high-speed sync, the beauty about 500 watts. Of course, as you guys may know, if you guys are not new to the channel, I am a Phottix brand ambassador, so maybe this video might be a bit biased, but take it with a grain of salt, because whatever it is that I talked about in this particular interview is very much applicable to any other sort of light that is now available in the market. Again, way back in 2016, this was the only light that was available to me that will work with my Sony. So I hope you guys enjoy this video.
Now that I have it, it's just transformed the way I'm shooting again. Today, this was supposed to be a training session for my staff, but since we had some new toys to play around with, we decided to make a video. These things that you see, like this Indra and this Phottix Odin 2 for Sony, is still not available in the market as of now. We're still beta testing, so what better way to test it than to do an actual shoot. So this is why this shoot is happening right now. But it's also a good opportunity for us to be able to see how it works, and then we could give feedback. But from how everything was today, I think it's ready to go on sale, personally. I've been waiting for this for the longest time because I've been using the Phottix Odin, the original Phottix Odin with a Mitros. I love it because one, it does high-speed sync. Number two, I can control every single function of the flash remotely using the transmitter on top of my camera. Now, my only limitation during that time with this one, with the Mitros, is that this is only approximately about 40 watts, give or take. So when I'm using it on high-speed sync, we don't have that much power. So I'll have to end up using like 2 or 3, which becomes very cumbersome already when I'm trying to tame the sun, especially during the afternoon light. The Odin 2, this is the one for Sony, it actually controls this one already remotely. So now I have 500 watts of power that I can use on high-speed sync, on TTL, and it makes life a lot easier. This Phottix Indra is it's actually a studio flash that is battery operated. I was able to get about 300 shots with 2 lights running on 132 power. With the new triggers, it goes up to channel 32 plus with a specific ID. So each channel has 1,000 possible, no, not even 1,000, 9,999 IDs. So you've got 5 groups, 32 channels, and 9,999 IDs. A lot of photographers actually laugh at me when I tell them that I use TTL a lot, especially when I'm shooting, because they're more manual mode. It's the same as a photographer saying I'm a manual shooter as compared to me and I'm an Aperture Priority shooter. I even do auto ISO. If I'm in the studio, yes, definitely I'll be an all manual because nothing changes. The distance of the light doesn't change, the camera settings don't change, the light doesn't change, distance of the light to the subject doesn't change. But when you're shooting outdoor and when you're shooting, let's say for a wedding, more often than not, you're on the go. And for me, I would rather just have to control certain aspects of my camera and trust it. My flash would normally go in or go further out, the position would change. And if I have to manually control everything during that time, it would stop the process. I want to be able to just shoot, compose, pose, and let the flash do whatever it is that it needs to do. I have an option anyway here in the Odin that I can just increase my exposure compensation. So with TTL, it makes things so much easier, it makes things so much faster. All I have to do is point the flash, have the right direction, have the right type of light, the right modifier on it, and all I have to do is click and that's it. That's why I've been waiting for this for so long. That and the option for high-speed sync, and now that I have it, it's just transformed the way I'm shooting again. This is a pretty cool option that I really love. Okay, we're in channel 5 group A, and then I press this little button here, and it automatically shifts to modeling light. So now I can control even the modeling light, just in case I want to do continuous light only. This one is on channel 5B. So all I have to do is press channel 5, and then here's my mode, very simple, TTL, manual, and off. So I'll put it on manual, let's say. Another great option, press this one, zoom. You could zoom the flash remotely. That's the nice thing about it, I can use my Mitros and my Indra simultaneously. One of the shoots that we did earlier, remember I had somebody go behind a curtain and just have the Mitros coming out to create that ray of sun. It's like a burst of light to mimic as if there's natural sunlight that was there. And then the Indra was out of the frame with a nice modifier, creating that nice soft light on the subject. So this one's small, it's still comparatively big compared to this. This one we could put inside lampshades, we could put underneath whatever. So many possibilities with that. Just because I have this, I won't use this anymore. It's a combination of both, and I love the fact that Phottix allowed the synergy of both products, that it's so easy to use. High-speed sync is a feature, it's a flash feature that allows you to shoot faster than the normal sync speed of your camera, which doesn't allow you much freedom when you're shooting outdoor, because sometimes you want to shoot outdoor and shoot wide open. And if we shoot wide open, let's say at 1.8 or 1.2, we won't be able to bring our shutter speed within that range of the flash sync speed. So the old school way of doing that was we would have to put ND filters or not shoot wide open, we'd shoot at f22 or something like that. Now with this one, you've got high-speed sync. High-speed sync allows you to go way beyond that, up to 1/8,000th of a second. Here's the beauty of high-speed sync on an Indra 500. The problem with high-speed sync inherently is that you will lose so much power. A lot of power actually. You'll lose about I'm doing a guesstimate, but you only get about 20% or 30% of your power when you're on high-speed sync, depending on how fast you're actually going. You could go on Aperture Priority again and just let your camera do whatever. If you underexpose a scene like that, a little bit of color will come out. It's like forcing color to come out. So I was shooting at about 2 stops under, and then just using this one to give my proper exposure to the subjects. I shot that so that the rays of the sky would come out, a little bit of blue would come out, and that wouldn't have been possible without high-speed sync. Every time you enter a scene, there is already existing light. Whether it be ambient or artificial light, there is existing light. These things are there to supplement, for me personally. If I'm shooting in the studio, if I want to kill everything, I want to kill ambient light, then I will do that. But more often than not, when you're on location, you want to be able to work with what's already there. Because sometimes natural light is really fantastic already. But then with lights like this, you could add to that natural light. As what we did earlier, there are some instances, but I use natural light to create the overall light and just use this one for contrast. One thing as a photographer that I always do every time I enter a scene, as I was telling my assistant earlier, is that you have to see what lights you can control, how you can control them, and then you work from there. And then afterwards, you look for where the best light is. If there's no light that's really nice, then you look for the best location. If it's not there, we create it.
so I hope you guys enjoyed that. So just to recap, basically I discussed there why I use Aperture Priority, the importance of high-speed sync with me, also with TTL, gave you kind of a brief insight on how I approach lighting a scene. So I hope it was worth it for you guys to have watched this video, even if it was shot in 2016. It just proves a point that photography, the basic principles of photography, will not really change. It's only the equipment that might get better, but you have to keep yourself grounded on those principles or those techniques, and it might take you further in that photography journey that you're actually going through. So I hope, again, you guys enjoyed that video, and if you did, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And while you're at it, click that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you want to see more of my images, you can find me on Instagram. It's at Jiggy Alejandrino. Okay, till the next video.